What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Baseball Banter. Previews the season and kind of does the off-season gradings of every division. And today we're talking about maybe one of the best divisions. I think in terms of total top heaviness, it's probably up there. Being the NL West. With me is Ollie.
What's up?
And the Barnacle.
That's me.
All right. Let's talk about that team that won the World Series last year. El Dodgerinos. They went 43-17 last year. They were on a pace for 116 wins. Barney, has any other team ever gotten to 116 wins?
Yep.
Which team was it?
2001 Mariners.
And?
Some other team in like the 20s.
1916
Cubs, I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't play 162 back then.
Was it the 1916 Cubs?
I think it is. That was the exact team I was going to say.
Really? And they didn't even play 162 back then. So that's even better than what the Mariners did. Anyway.
Let's see. 1916 Cubs.
Yeah.
We're 67 and 86.
Okay, so that's not them.
Banging in my kitchen. Just a minute.
Show note, banging.
I mean, Ollie, go over the lineups.
Yeah, Ollie, can you tell me about who they lost and then who they got? Because they did a lot this offseason.
Yeah, so they lost Jake McGee, Enrique Hernandez, Alex Wood, Pedro Baez, and Jock Peterson. At least some of those are names that we know from the World Series.
They are warm bodies.
But they picked up Corey Knebel in a trade with the Brewers. Tommy Kahnle in free agency. They re-signed Blake Trinan. The big pickup here, Trevor Bauer, for $102 million over 3 years. We've talked about that on the pod before. And they re-signed Justin Turner because, where else is Justin Turner going to play?
Exactly. It was that or the Mets, probably.
Oh, God. No, thank you.
Or like the Braves, because they had a spot at third base. Anyway, what does all this mean for their lineup, Barney?
It's a great question, Tuan. It means they have, probably the best team in baseball.
Hot take.
Yeah. All right, so going through here, they're projected to have Mookie Betts, their right fielder and second best player in baseball, third best player in baseball, leading off for them, followed by Corey Seager, the least well-paid Seager brother. Also shortstop for the Dodgers.
But the best.
Justin Turner, third base. Cody Bellinger in center field. Will Smith, their catcher. Max Muncy, their first baseman. AJ Pollock, the left fielder. And Gavin Lux, their second baseman.
Hot prospect. No? Or he was. He isn't anymore.
I think all of these guys were hot prospects at some point.
Yeah, at some point at least. All right.
That's not true. I don't think
Rotation.
Justin Turner ever was a hot prospect.
Probably not.
I think he might have been a prospect, but never hot.
All right, so let's talk about their rotation.
Yeah.
Their rotation,
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
has been 100% solidified, but right now listed on Fangraphs, they have some guy named Clayton Kershaw, followed by Trevor Bauer, who's overpaid, then some Walker Buehler, Julio Urias, David Price.
Never heard of any of those guys.
I don't know who any of these guys are.
No.
Well, they're looking at sub-4 ERAs each and every one of them, so...
Yeah, no, the thing is, only two of them.
Oh,
So only, they
man.
only have two Cy Young winners and then one Mickey Mouse Cy Young winner, so,
Mickey Mouse Cy Young winner?
Yeah, 2020 Cy Young Award is more of a Mickey Mouse Cy Young than...
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
No,
so
I mean...
I think...
No, their rotation is...
The starting rotation has, 5 Cy Youngs among them?
Yeah, Kershaw's won 3, Price has won 1, and then
Trevor
Bauer won 1.
And then Walker Buehler is possibly their best pitcher, despite not having won a Cy Young award.
Somehow.
And then they also are forced to not have Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin in their starting 5. So they have to go to the bullpen, which is crazy. They've also got Blake Trinan and Kenley Jansen in the bullpen. So, and Joe Kelly is injured. So just
Yeah. Caleb Ferguson,
Joe,
Bruce Gratterall. also
entire
one of the big
MLB
revelations last
hero
year.
Joe Kelly.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like that Trevor Bauer gets to play with Joe Kelly now after wearing him on his feet.
Oh yes.
Asking everybody to free him.
That's gotta be an immediate friendship, right?
Definitely.
I don't know if either of those guys are particularly easy to get along with.
And that's how they get along perfectly with each other.
Yeah.
No, they
this
they
team
could be
is
plenty
just-
nice.
Yeah. The thing with this team, in my opinion, is that they're so good, it's kind of boring.
Yep.
It's just like they won it last year. They're slated to win another one this year and the next years. They're so incredibly deep organizationally.
And like
They got a bunch of highly touted prospects as well still on the way.
yeah, like as if the stacked everything wasn't enough, they've got the 79th and the 84th overall prospect slated to come up this year, which is
And the 28th.
ridiculous. His ETA looks like it's
Josiah Gray.
2022.
I see the
Josiah
28th
Gray.
overall prospect, Josiah
Yeah.
Gray, is mid-2021. But
Yeah.
Okay,
the number
then I'm looking at a different thing.
84 prospect, Michael Bush, is mid-2022.
Yeah.
All right. Still,
They're just stacked.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, the Dodgers are
I mean-
interesting, I think, because we're not looking to see whether they're like the best team in the NL West or the best team in baseball. We're seeing if they can beat the Mariners' 2001 single season win record.
yeah.
And maybe
And
get
I
some
think they have a
individual
good shot
records
at it.
along the way.
They probably have a good shot at it, considering the division they're in, and also considering the AL West teams,
all right.
who are most likely to play in interleague. So
So I've got a question for you guys that we're going to answer, I think, after we talk about the next team, the Padres. What has to happen for the Padres to win the NL West?
So, like, not a lot, actually. Like, something has to happen, but I don't think it's that much. And maybe we just use this to segue into talking about the Padres.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that if you see, like, David Price not come back to form after injury, if you see maybe one injury among the starting pitchers from the Dodgers, or, like, if Mookie Betts gets hurt or Corey Seager or Cody Bellinger gets hurt, or
yeah, and also I think another aspect that plays here, and that's this team was so dedicated on finally winning it all, and they did it last year. And I think like the chances of them slumping this year, or like relatively slumping, as in like more of how do you call it, a hangover, World Series hangover, I think is really big for them. They've been so consistently performing for like since 2013. They finally got there. I think it might be reasonable to assume that they might actually take a step back. However, what they did with adding a guy like Trevor Bauer, who is very much dedicated to win his first World Series ring,
yeah,
that might be enough to like push them to another crown. However, I think the chances are that the Padres overtake them just because the Dodgers have the hangover.
yeah. So I think Trevor Bauer is like going to be kind of the linchpin that how this year goes sort of revolves around. Because one of the big things that he talked about during his offseason was how he's committed to pitching every fourth day, which is really frequently for a major league pitcher. So he could also carry some of the weight of, say, Clayton Kershaw falls off a little bit. Like he finally got his World Series ring after so long. He's also 33, so he's getting up there in age, where injury becomes
Back
a little bit more
issues.
likely. Ditto that with David Price. So if Trevor Bauer is able to like sort of carry that workload if they need it, then I can see this team like just easily running away with the division, even in spite of some injury. But if Trevor Bauer isn't able to do that, and a couple things don't go their way, then that's how I could see the Friars winning.
All right.
Speaking of the Friars, okay, yeah, maybe to round up the Dodgers, they're currently projected to win 103.5 games. Who's taking the over? Who's taking the under?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm taking the under.
I think
They're
we're
in
going to
the
take...
AL West, for example. Or like the NL Central. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have to play a lot of games against the Padres. Yeah, I'll take
that's
the
the
under
thing.
also.
I'm going over.
All right.
Big shout.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to go crazy and say that I think they'll win 115 games.
Barely.
Just one less?
Barely missing. I think Buster Posey wrote an article today, or he tweeted an article for someone else about projecting how the Dodgers would get to 118 wins. I haven't read it, but it could be something to consider. All right, how do we grade our offseason? I'm giving it an A-, or maybe just an A.
Yeah, I'd give it an A.
Because they kind of just they strengthened the team.
Yeah, after
That
winning
was
a World
already
Series, they
the
made the
best in
team better
baseball.
somehow.
Yeah.
I maybe wouldn't go that far. I think that they've seen a big drop in the quality of their farm system. They're now number 15 among teams, which is better than most recent World Series winners, but
Or better than most not recent World Series teams.
well,
Better than most teams?
no,
Yeah.
not better than most not recent World Series teams. Because they're right.
Yeah, but just like if we take
Yeah,
all
they're-
teams,
they're like
better than most
14
teams.
teams that didn't win a World Series recently that are better than them, and there are like
I
12
don't know. Is
teams.
1993 recent?
No. Were you alive in 1993?
No,
That is not recent.
not in any meaningful sense.
Okay, what would you give him then?
I would give them an A-. I mean, they still did sign
Okay.
like
All right.
the second best or best free agent pitcher.
Second
Yeah.
best?
They signed the best free agent pitcher.
Yeah, who would be
Yeah.
better than Bauer?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
that's what I thought.
I was
All right.
for a minute I was thinking about like the Blake Snell trade and the Yu Darvish trade, but then I forgot that those were trades. Just a second.
Speaking of those trades, let's talk about the team of the offseason, I think.
A+.
Team
A+
Team of the
is
coming
my
decade.
A+++, move on to the next.
A+ is my ranking.
All right, me too. I think we can start
All right.
with ranking. And
They
then
have been
go to-
graded.
I think,
Now let's talk about them.
yeah, let's talk about them. Padres won 37 games last year and were slated, which comes down to a 100-win season over 162. Yeah, they did a lot, and Ollie's going to talk about what they did in the offseason.
So they lost quite a few names here. They lost Garrett Richards, Trevor Rosenthal, Kirby Yates, who ended up being out for the entire 2021 season anyways, Jason Castro, Mitch Moreland, Zach Davies, Luis Patino, Francisco Mejia, Greg Allen, and Joey Lucchesi. But they picked up Yu Darvish in a trade, and they also picked up Blake Snell in a trade. So those are two very good starting pitchers right there.
Those are like two
signed-
of the 5 best starting pitchers in baseball. Those aren't just
Yeah.
very good starting pitchers.
All right, sorry I undersold them. They picked
Just
up
a little bit.
Ha-Seong Kim as an international free agent out of Korea. Picked up Joe Musgrove in a trade. Re-signed Jerickson Profar. Picked up Keone Kela and picked up Mark Melanson. They made this team better.
Yeah, it's
it's
also
gonna be
not
fun to
listed here
watch.
on our sheet, but I think they also signed one of their players to a contract extension.
Oh yeah, just like a
Who's-
little tiny contract extension won't make a dent in the budget at all. They signed Fernando Tatis Jr. to an absolutely ridiculous amount of money. What was it? 14 years and how many million?
14,340.
Good grief, $340 million.
Do you know what he's making in 2021?
Is it too much?
No,
He's
1 million.
yeah, he's still like in his first year, right?
His first ARB, I think. Yeah.
Is he already in
Not one.
arbitration? I thought he was just like in his first full year.
Yeah, but I think that they basically bought out his arbitration years
Gotcha.
with the extension. So
Because I thought that he was just he's only
it
played
could be
for
that
like,
it was in pre-ARB.
hasn't he only played like 150 games?
Yeah, but one of them was in a 60-game season.
Mhm.
So I think he has about 2 years of service, like 1.5 years of service time, I believe.
2 full years.
Well, see, so then Yeah, 2 years. Okay.
That's okay. He's set for life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Does he also get money from being
Right.
on the cover of the show?
Probably,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no way he
His
doesn't
rights.
get like something from that. He's the face of baseball.
So I know there's a Madden cover curse. Is there an MLB The Show cover curse?
Like last year it was Javi Baez and he sucked last year.
All right, that's one
Year
for
before
one.
that was Bryce Harper, but he wasn't that bad for the Phillies that year.
Yeah, no, he just wasn't 2015 good.
Yeah, but that's like
That's a very high bar. Yeah.
generational good. All right, Barney, talk to me about that lineup then.
Yeah.
What if they got there?
All right, here's the projection. They got Trent Grisham in their center field. Fernando Tatis Jr., their shortstop. Manny Machado, their third baseman. Eric Hosmer, their first baseman. Tommy Pham, their left fielder. Will Myers, their right fielder. Jake Cronenworth, their second baseman. And Victor Caratini, their catcher. So that's their projected 1 through 8 spots. I also just want to throw it out there that I saw written down somewhere that they're now on the hook for $814 million worth of infielder contracts between Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Eric Hosmer mostly. So
Seems about right.
yeah. So good on the Padres for committing to almost $1 billion worth of infield, doing the opposite of whatever it is that the Rockies are doing. Let's see. They've also got a pretty good starting rotation. They got Yu Darvish, they got Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove, Chris Paddock, and Adrian Morejon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this team is
Stacked.
This team is stacked. Maybe we should also discuss the fact that there's 2 guys in the injured list, Mike Clevenger and Dinelson Lamet, who just slot into the top of that pitching rotation immediately.
Yep.
Um,
Not to mention
They
the guy
have-
who should be their starting catcher, Austin Nola.
yeah, exactly. Brother of Aaron Nola.
Austin
So-
Kyle Nola.
So you might need...
Stop.
So they traded for a lot of
Full
guys,
name.
right? So the thing that was really surprising about them this offseason is they traded for a bunch of dudes, high-end dudes, like Blake Snell, like Yu Darvish, like Joe Musgrove, guys that are not on hugely expensive deals. I think like Blake Snell is owed like 46 or like 36 million over the next 3 years, which is ridiculously cheap for a guy of his caliber. And they only had to give up like 1 top 100 prospect along the way.
I'm
still have-
surprised they didn't get fleeced. I mean, we'll see depending on what prospects they gave. What prospects they gave the Rays for Snell, but
The
I'm
Rays are the
surprised they
only
didn't
team
get
that got
fleeced.
Yeah, the Rays are the only team that got a top 100 prospect out of them, with Luis Patino. Beyond that, they got like they still have Mackenzie Gore, they still have Robert Hassel III, great name, C.J. Abrams. I think those are the guys that are on here, but I thought they had like 5 guys still in the top 100, so that might be in lower levels. Yeah, and this team just saw an opportunity, I think, this offseason. They probably saw that there were going to be a bunch of teams that are willing to shed payroll, even though like, and then they just wanted to take him on. They was like, okay, give us Blake Snell, give us Yu Darvish, and we'll give you just like a bag of prospects. And yeah, they made their team actively better, and I like kudos to them. They're going into the season with a $200 million payroll. And yeah, they're looking really good.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I mean,
dads are really going for it, and I'm
Yep.
so
The
excited.
dads.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal for us living here in Belgium because they're on the West Coast, and all of these games are going to be super exciting, but also at like 4 in the morning for us. And we're going to have to make a decision whether or not we watch those games.
Whether or not we watch those games live.
Yeah. Do you not watch games live?
I feel like in a perfect world, I get up at like 7 and I can watch like the end of those games.
So I kind of disagree with that because the exciting part is going to be when Trevor Bauer is facing off against Blake Snell.
And if we're
the
lucky,
next
Trevor
day-
Bauer will be facing Blake Snell in the 9th inning.
See?
Were Blake Snell and Yu Darvish both runners-up for the Cy Young this year for the AL and NL?
I don't know if Blake Snell was that good in the regular season. Let's see. AL Cy Young 2020. Boom. Shane Bieber won it, in case you're wondering.
I did know that. Yeah.
Kenta Maeda finished second.
Okay.
And then there's no Blake Snell here in this list, so he didn't get any votes.
All right. Cool. He's still really good.
Cool. Liam Hendricks got some.
Yeah, that's weird. You have to be a really good closer to get votes.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
He hopefully still is.
Yeah. Padres are projected to win 95.5 games. Over, under.
Oof.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I think me too. I think the Padres and the Dodgers are closer than what these over-unders are expecting.
I think they're going to both win at like 98 games.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah. That's
Game
what I think.
Game 163 with Dodgers and Padres.
Oh my God! Imagine the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's over, but I think they're probably going to get like 100 wins. I think they're 100.
All right. Then there's a big drop off to the rest of the NL West.
By the way, for the astute,
Yeah.
in 2001 the Mariners won 116 games, so I predicted one under that. But the A's were second in the division and won 101, so I was going for one under that. I think we're going to see the same kind of division results.
All right.
But then in the NL West.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying that the NL West this year is worse than the AL West 20 years ago.
We'll just see a nice repeat. All right. The Giants. They're still around. San Fran.
They exist.
They actually only missed the playoffs by one game last year. Even though they had a losing record, 29-31. Ollie, talk to me about their offseason. What did they do?
Oh boy. They lost Tony Watson, Trevor Cale, Drew Smiley, Rico Garcia, Daniel Robertson, Tyler Anderson, and Sam Coonrod. The only name in that list that I know is Drew Smiley.
Sam Coonrod has my least favorite name in baseball.
He does throw 100.
That's fine. It's not what I'm judging his name based on.
No.
Are you judging it based on the order of the letters in the name?
And the choice of letters.
And selection of letters, yeah.
All right. But they picked up Kevin Gausman. He accepted his qualifying offer. So that's 1 year, $15 million or so.
18.
It
was quite a surprise that they gave him that money, actually. Or like gave him the qualifying offer, but you know.
Maybe they were expecting him to try free agency for a longer term deal.
Could be.
And then they get that compensation pick in the draft.
They also sweet compensation pick.
Always worth it. They also picked up Matt Weisler, Anthony Descalfani, Kurt Casale, Alex Wood, Tommy LaStella, Jake McGee, Shun Yamaguchi, who never really panned out for the Blue Jays,
No.
Scott Kazmir, Justin Bauer, and Jose Alvarez.
No, say what I wrote.
No. No, I'm not gonna.
Okay, we'll just skip over that. Okay, Barney, what does that mean for their lineup?
They just have to switch tabs to brutal. So their lineup's looking like Tommy LaStella at third base, Mike Yastrzemski in right field, Donovan Solano at second base, Alex Dickerson in left field, Buster Posey catching as always, Brandon Belt at first base, Brandon Crawford at shortstop, and Mauricio Dubon in center field.
That's a beautiful name. Yeah.
It's a good team. Like if they didn't have to compete with two of the three best teams in baseball this year, or at least the teams projected to be two of the three best teams in baseball, this would look like a totally fine, like, good roster.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Sadly, they do, and they're going to get the shit kicked out of them for it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mike
That's the
Yastrzemski is
thing.
really, really good.
This is a team that's ready to like blow it all up in the sense that their core, like Buster Posey, Brandon Bell, Brendan Crawford, they're all slated to have at least 1, maybe 2 more years, and then they reach free agency, and then they basically have nobody left on the books. Like Johnny Cueto is at the end of his deal. Let's talk about that rotation.
Yeah, so this is a pretty top-heavy rotation in my approximation. They got Kevin Gausman and Johnny Cueto leading off the rotation, and then they got Logan Webb, Anthony Desclafani, and Aaron Sanchez.
Yep. Decent. Not gonna blow you away.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I think that they'd be in about half the divisions in baseball in a good position to compete for like a wild card spot or a like, second place in the division kind of spot. Just not in this one.
Yeah. They've got a really fun manager.
Yeah.
Gabe Kapler.
I think it's a pretty safe bet that the Giants are going to be holding a fire sale at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like this year or next year seems like the time to do it, and they also only have the 11th ranked farm system. Like this just might be the time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have Johnny Cueto. They have a club option for 2022, so they can pretty much give him away. Kevin Gausman is a free agent after this year. Buster Posey have a club option for 2022. Brandon Bell is a free agent. Brandon Crawford is a free agent. And then they got a bunch of other dudes down there. So, yeah, I think, like you said, fire sale time.
Yeah.
San Fran.
I don't think the playoffs are in their future this year, so but they've got some good guys to deal. So let's see them rebuild that farm system.
One of the things we missed is that they signed Aaron Sanchez in the offseason to a $4 million deal.
Oh.
For a single year. He was really good for Toronto for a few years. And then in 2019, he was dealt to the Astros, which is a shame.
Downhill from there.
Downhill from there. It looks like he opted out of 2020.
Just didn't want to play on the Astros that year.
Maybe. All it says here is he didn't play in 2020. So odds are he opted out.
For the Astros in 2020, you take it.
They're like, oh, COVID list? Sure. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a good way to not get thrown at.
He's a pitcher.
Over-unders are at 75.5.
They still play the Dodgers.
They still play the Dodgers.
It's fair.
That's the thing. Universal DH, but still, he'll get hit by something.
Yeah.
75.5 is the over-under. I'll take the over on that. I don't think they're that bad of a team. I think they'll beat I think they'll beat the teams below them and just lose against a team above them, and then that's their season. 77 wins.
I'm taking the under. They're like we said, they're going to hold a fire sale. Like they're going to be maybe a 500 team through halfway through the season, but they're just not going to have a shot at that wild card spot. And it's just time
to blow it all up.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think under as well.
Okay. What do we grade it? Is it just? I think it's like a C.
Yeah, they didn't
just
do much.
They didn't do anything to get worse.
Yeah.
But also nothing to get better. So.
I mean, they picked up some like trade potential, but that's about it.
Yeah, I would give them a C+ actually. I don't think they got a lot better. I think they got a little better. And the fact is, like, we're looking at these things in retrospect where we see that they just like did not do enough to compete in the division that they're in. But
yeah.
At the time, like, they did improve their team. They just have like the two best teams in baseball.
For not trying.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like they know this is not their window, so they're just gonna sit this one out and then just build up prospect depth.
Yeah, they got a couple rings in the last
Padres
10, 12
years. Oh yeah, they had three. So
yeah,
it's fine. No urgency there.
Exactly.
All right. So are we skipping this next one, or are we still going to talk about it?
We should talk about it.
All right.
Just like a little bit.
Just a little bit. The Rockies lost. They went 26-34 last year. Yeah.
They lost.
I think
they lost Nolan
Go
Arenado,
ahead.
and they got negative $50 million. That has been their off season. Being a Rockies fan is pain, I imagine, especially considering the next thing we expect the Rockies to do is hand away another $50 million and also Trevor Story.
Yeah. They also
that's
lost
all.
Kevin Pillar and AJ.
Yep.
Did they lose Kevin Pillar?
Yeah.
Kevin Pillar played for the Giants, no?
Yeah. No, he went to Colorado.
Oh, shit.
And then
and now he's in New York.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, the Rockies just get a big ol' F.
Yep.
Yeah.
For just existing.
Yeah.
We can still talk about their lineup a little bit.
Yeah,
just like the interesting names.
They got Trevor Story
Yeah.
and Charlie Blackmon still. That's the interesting
Man.
names.
Poor Charlie
All right.
Blackmon.
Just poor anybody.
Like, he's been stuck in Colorado since he was drafted in 08.
Mm-hmm.
Just pain.
And he's really good.
Maybe we should talk about that one stat that really was like since 2018, or was it?
Oh.
Yeah, since 2018 when they signed Nolan Arenado to an extension.
Yeah, so
spent...
this is just this is talked about more, and we don't really need to like beat on this too much, but this is talked about in a Foolish Bailey video.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
They
pain. The Rockies
spent
are
250
pain.
million, yeah, 250 million on free agents, and they got minus 8.8 WAR out of that.
It's so bad that their starting rotation doesn't even have 5 projected starters in it.
Exactly. I just saw that. I was like, what?
I was like, where? I was scrolling to find that number. Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for the Rockies. We don't have anything
Right.
interesting to say about them.
No,
Over-under
I think there's
63.5.
I think there's something interesting to say about the Rockies, because I think that it bears saying, and that is shame on the Rockies, shame on their
Oh,
ownership. Like they are like the poster child for ownership groups just trying to make money off of baseball, kind of through existing as a baseball team owner.
Definitely.
And just like tanking the team and being terrible and awful. So shame on the Rockies. Shame.
Well, I do have to say that kudos to them for trying for at least 2 years. They just completely made all the wrong choices at all the right places, like at all the wrong places, maybe. I mean,
At this point, they're not trying
everything-
anymore, though.
no, but like everything they did try, it just went south, and yeah.
And now they are where they are.
63.5 wins. I'm taking I feel like that's actually kind of spot on. Just above 100 losses.
Nah, I'm taking the under. I think they lose 100 games.
Yeah, could be.
I don't care.
Don't care. All right, let's move on to the next team then.
All right, these
Your
guys at least
Arizona.
like have some like signs of life.
Yeah,
There's a
they're
pulse.
looking pretty good. Yeah, the Diamondbacks, they went 25-35 last year. Ollie,
Yeah.
you have something more to talk about here than with the Rockies, so go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, there are actually some interesting names here in who they got rather than just a number.
Yeah.
They lost Junior Gurra, Kevin Cron, John Jay, Hector Rondon, Mike Leake, Travis Bergen, and Zach Pop, which is a fantastic name. But they picked up Tyler Clippard, legendary glasses man, Tyler Clippard, Asdrubal Carrera, Joakim Soria. So Clippard, from what I can tell, has been a good middle of the middle of the bullpen piece. And I don't know how Asdrubal Cabrera has been the last few years.
He won a World Series with the Nationals 2 years ago.
There it is.
So
Let's see. He's not
It's like
projected to be one of their starters. So there's
Okay.
that.
is he hurt?
No, he's just projected on the bench. Also, Tyler Clippard is hurt.
Oh, that's typical.
Yeah. It says he has a strained shoulder though, so hopefully it's like
Minor.
pretty minor. Unfortunately, also their number one pitcher also has a hairline stress fracture in his arm. Zach Gallen was projected to be their opening day starter and then broke his arm. So that really sucks.
He was really good last year as well.
Yeah.
2.75 ERA. 1.5 WAR.
Yeah, it sucks.
Sad.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll just run through their lineup. They're not a very exciting lineup right now. They got David Peralta, their left fielder, Ketel Marte, their center fielder, Eduardo Escobar, their third baseman, Christian Walker, their first baseman, Josh Rojas, their second baseman, Carson Kelly catching, Pavin Smith, I love the name Pavin, in right field, and Nick Ahmed in shortstop. So, I don't know about you guys, like maybe Christian Walker is a name worth mentioning a little bit, but this is overall like not a super exciting lineup. But
yeah,
the Diamondbacks have been in
Marte.
hell for a while.
Yeah.
Fair.
Ever
Ketel
since they
Marte.
traded Greinke.
Yeah, truth.
I think Eduardo Escobar is also just worth mentioning. He's been around the league for a little while. Been, not great, not terrible. He's been for most years, he's been league starter material.
Yeah.
And before, in 2018 and 2019, he put together 3.5 and 3.6 wins above replacement seasons before falling off a cliff in 2020.
That's at least decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Rainbow.
almost that's all-star level almost. No, all-star level's 5. But, between all-star and starter.
Yeah, I think worth noting is that these guys do have a pretty promising farm system, I believe. I forget exactly where they're ranked. Ollie, do you have that?
Hold on. I got it open. The Arizona Diamondbacks are ranked 9th.
Okay. Yeah, so that's good. They're
Yeah.
at least moving in a direction. Pitcher-wise, they've got Madison Bumgarner, Merrill Kelly, Caleb Smith, Taylor Widener, and Luke Weaver. And then someday they'll also have Tyler Flipper and Zach Gallen back.
Looking forward to seeing Mad Bum yell at some batters again.
I know. I've missed Bad Bum.
The fact that he's in the same division with the Padres, he's gonna hate it.
Yeah. Mad Bum's going to have just like a bad year emotionally, I think.
Yeah, especially emotionally.
So
He is
every
he
year.
is- It's funny
Yeah.
that he's their opening day starter probably, and he's projected to have a 5 ERA or just below that.
Man,
Sad.
Mad Bum,
Yeah,
how
he-
far you have fallen.
Yeah.
He actually got a pretty good deal out of the Diamondbacks. I
mean,
think it's
he-
like 4 years and
He's done it
1
all.
million.
Like,
Yeah. He's been in the league for 11 years now.
He was
Yeah.
20 or like 21 years old when he.
yeah, exactly. He was super young, super exciting. Won World Series. Is
Closed the World Series. That 2014 relief appearance is unforgettable.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh,
When he came in for the 5-inning save in Game 7.
has like a personality that people know about, but people like don't feel that strongly about. They're just like, that's a character.
He has.
Yeah,
it's
that's a
more
guy
about
that
him
exists.
it's more about him having strong feelings towards other people. That's kind of his character.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and then he gets just like a dump truck of money. So
Well, he was pretty good.
yeah, like I'm not
Yeah,
saying he
he
didn't
was
earn
very
it,
good.
but like, yeah, he's got the whole thing.
Um,
So who cares if his projection is to have a 5.0 ERA? Like, of course.
fair.
He's
It's
got
just
the
good to have him
Dodgers
in
and
the league
Padres
still.
in his division.
Fair. Yeah, exactly.
Like that probably
Projected
inflates
to-
everyone, all other pitchers in the division's ERAs by like, what, 0.8 or something?
Probably.
All right. They're projected to win 75.5 games. I'm taking the under for them. I don't think they're as good as the Giants right now.
No.
So-
Especially because they're missing some of their lineup
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to start the season. Under is where we're going.
Is Cole Calhoun out for the entire season? I don't know how long meniscus surgery takes to recover from,
Oh, knee surgery.
Yeah.
but he had it at the beginning of this.
Knee surgery is
He's
not good.
that's bad.
Well,
I would
I know
say
that's
yes.
bad. I don't know how long it takes to like come back.
I would say odds
Oh,
are
he
good.
did-
It's
did
not.
take live at bats the 27th of March already.
what?
His injury is knee day to day,
Huh.
apparently. So he might.
Okay,
he might
so
be
yeah.
back
Then he'll be back this year.
right after opening day,
All right.
maybe,
That's good.
or even before.
Cole Calhoun is pretty good.
All right. And then time for the last grading of the off season.
Last grade of the offseason.
What we're gonna say? I think it's just C.
Yeah, I'll give him a C.
C.
Solid.
Solid.
C's get degrees.
C for solid.
C for solid.
All right, that wraps up our off-season projections and gradings. Thank you, Aldi and Barney, for doing this. Are you guys ready for opening day?
Oh, so ready.
Absolutely.
It's right around the corner. All right.
Can't wait for the rest of the Blue Jays organization to get injured. This time in games that matter.
It's going to be a lot of fun down there in Dunedin, where they're playing Dunedin.
Dunedin,
Florida.
yeah, I think so.
Dunedin, Florida. It's
The
like,
Dunedin Blue Jays.
talk about a world tour, right? They
Yeah,
went from the Buffalo experience to the Dunedin experience this year.
Yeah, the Blue Jay Globetrotters.
All right, thank you so much. And have a nice opening day, everyone. Say bye to the people.
Bye to the people.
Yeah. Now you do it, Barney.
Bye.
All right.